we're gonna get started just here shortly. And if you're catching this on the replay, there's gonna just be a couple minutes lag. And but over here while you're waiting, and some of you, oh hey, you're already hopping on here. Here is my, you are at my YouTube channel. Actually, there was stuff I actually need to finish getting ready. And this is Watercolor Wednesday. And hey, welcome. Let me know where you are watching from. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out my brushes. And actually, we're gonna paint with this guy today. Bum, bum, bum. We're gonna paint using this. And grab my handy dandy palette. So 2 minutes. I know some people are like, oh hey, Gabriel doesn't start for another 2 minutes. But I'm sure YouTube is letting some people know. There are my current brushes I'm using. And we'll talk a little bit about that next week. While I'm grabbing other things, we had a really cool workshop. A lot of you asked me to do a workshop on lighthouses, and we had 6 people show up, but a few people got sick and someone got called to work, and we ended up having to get a time with 3 people. And those 3 people also want some tutoring. And check your email tonight, because I'm sending out the dates. They know who they are. They watch this channel regularly, often. And I am gonna also get out this today we're going to look at a few things. There were some really good questions asked recently. You know, you can email me questions through the channel, and I appreciate those because it helps develop some of the content in which we go over here on the channel. I'm looking to see if my reference photo uploaded, and it has not on my laptop yet. So that's all right. That's all right. And we're at 6 o'clock. We're at the top of the hour. We're gonna go ahead and start. The question is, how do you know when a painting is finished? And we are going to look at that today. Some people feel that, and this tends to be from like the new people, is they feel like they'll like ruin a watercolor, okay? And so, hey, Artie Ross is here. Hello, hello. And I signed up for your class at Art on 30th. Cool. Is that for the August show, the new one? Because that is the one that is the art supplies are going to be supplied by yours truly. You just have to pay that artist fee. So for some reason we're having an orientation problem. And what's going on? All right. Well, it looks like I have to reboot due to YouTube not connecting. You can see my lovely boxes from my move. Isn't that fun? All right. I am going to be right back. So, all 11 of you. See, the orientation, it's telling me I have to do this. And that's not what we're doing. We're not. Well, you know what? I can roll with this, YouTube. Okay. I can roll with it. So for some reason it wants me at this vertical. Go figure. We will look into that. So can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. All 11 of you. Okay, I'm not going to reboot. We're just going to roll with this. If you can see the orientation, give me a thumbs up in the comments, and I will move forward. Bum, bum, bum. All right. Yes, we got thumbs up. I don't know if they're thumbs up for you can hear me or thumbs up because you can see the orientation. So I'm going to use this Escoda Travel Creator guy, and then this little lovely guy. Some of you already might have a Perla, and that is a-okay. How this works is this screws right on here. This is going to be coming to the States here really soon. If you haven't seen this, I have a whole video just talking about that product. I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but check it out. So you might have this brush right now, okay? And it's the same thing. All right, pretty cool, right? Made by the same company, Escoda. Okay. All right. So, with that said, look at this cool image. What do you think of this crazy hillbilly truck, house, automobile? So, you know, there's a whole part of watercolor. There's an ugly stage, and this is at my ugly stage, okay? It might not look ugly to you, but this is what ugly looks to Gabriel. And so, to each is to their own. As you get better, your critique and your strengths and everything changes. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start building some of these textures. So my light source is coming from this direction, and I left some part of this fender with some highlights, but it needs a little bit of love. So I'm gonna come just back in here. This is, if you have gouache, okay, you can add it to a little bit of Quinn Gold Deep, and you can make other gouache colors. What I'm looking for is just that old-timey looking rusty old truck kind of feel, and I'm looking for that now to pop, which it just did, thank goodness. From there, now you'd think people always just want to put gouache white highlights, okay? And I see your question there, Tim. I'm going to finish my little thought process and I'll answer it. And then there's a little nice little line right here and a cross T thing. And then this little light and this little boop boop. Look at that. This is nice and soft, as opposed to maybe using white. It'd be a little harsh. Here's a little bit on this wheel. Okay, look at that. See how it looks like the light is hitting this wheel? This is a shadow underneath that fender. There's a little bit of light on this part here, and a little bit of light on this fender. Do you see how now that just went three-dimensional on us? That's what we want. It was looking flat and ugly. Now we have some questions here. Tim says, I just got a new Escoda watercolor cotton journal. Oh, those are so good. I love those. Did they partner with Speedball? Just curious. I'm an art store that... Oh, there's an incomplete sentence. Just curious, my art store said that. You know, I don't know if they partnered for that particular product, but yes, Escoda has been working with... Escoda is out in Spain, bro, and they partner with Speedball to get their products in our United States. I think I just answered your question, hopefully. And Tim, I love this, has a bit of Dr. Seuss. Exactly. That was my segue. Oh, you got it out right before. So yes, I am a huge fan of Dr. Seuss, as many other people are that live in San Diego. If you don't know this, but Dr. Seuss used to live in San Diego and would write his children's books. I'm finding a little bit of turquoise in here, but kind of as if it was like faded. And put some down in here, because there really shouldn't be any white right in that area. And so yes, I saw this and I had to paint it. I'm a part of a few artists' friends, and this was a photo shared, and I had to get on it. All right, so it still has some ugly stages where I'm not too pleasant with it. So now I'm mixing what I just had, okay? I just had that, it was white gouache with cobalt, turquoise. Now I added some orange to it, and now I should get these cool looking rusted oranges. And I'm gonna put them here and there in the painting, and just bits and pieces where it's going to work quite nice, okay? And what I'm hoping for is making, so you're working with these different layers, right, in this truck, but it's all got to be connected. A part of a painting that looks like poo, that's not looking like a lovely painting, and it's disjointed because there are not recurring themes. Okay, there's not some wonderful areas in the painting that are in other parts of your painting, and this is a problem beginners tend to have. Well, today was fun. I took my paintings down to Comic-Con, and there was already some unique individuals down there dressed up, and unique people dropping off their wonderful art. And I had a really good experience. I had a good amount of people tell me they liked my work, specifically the painting of Gary from SpongeBob. And if you haven't seen it yet, you can go on my social media, Instagram, and I did a nice little post right there. So not all of your highlights have to be white, okay? Some highlights can be warm tones, such as this one, and I've just taken some transparent pale orange, but what I need now is some really nice darks, okay? Some of you are struggling maybe with getting dark. Well, where should be the darkest area in this painting? Well, one chunk is right here. Okay. And then one chunk, well, I'm going to extend that out like it's like that. Yes. And then another chunk is under this truck. Right in here. Now not everything has to go black. There are other colors I can mix. I could put some blue and orange together. Some of you that were at the workshop saw what I did with some mixings of colors, and it's not always just black, ugly paint. You can always start out light and go darker. We got some questions. Such an interesting painting, Paula says. And I came in a few minutes late. What inspired this fun painting? You know, Paula, when you get invited to some different groups, there's some maybe like new challenges, and I feel in my process of painting, you gotta free yourself up for some fun stuff too. Not every painting has to be so serious. I'm thinking of the movie Batman with the Joker, and he's like kind of creepy, but he says, "Why so serious?" And I think the point is that I allow myself to experiment and have fun, and I've shared that several times on here. People always want to know the secret sauce of being a brand ambassador for companies, and I honestly feel that part of that is exploring. Part of that is testing the waters, and the only way you're going to test waters is maybe play a little. And this painting is very playful. Look at this. It says Bob's. Like, I just put that there. It just felt kind of right. So get involved in different communities and different pastimes. I like doing these little concept paintings. I think they later reflect in my future paintings. I mean, look at that background. Look how simple the background is. I'll remember to do that in a future painting. I hope that answered your question. That was a really long answer. I apologize. Dun, dun, dun. And let's get some little zigzags going in here. So the question is, and the reason why we picked this one was, how do you know a painting is done? And I would say right about now, it's maybe for this little piece, minus the signature, I would say it's about 30% done. And and Paula says, thank you, I love it. Hey, Miss Art Rules, I hope you're feeling better. I saw you deliver the artworks to the Comic-Con. You saw me with your eyeballs, or you just saw my Facebook post? You. I hope you're feeling good, though. Do. And, yes, and hello. It snuck past me. And Grateful Marie is here, and Mind Your Own Business. I signed up for your class at Art on 30th. That's so rad. I'm excited to have you. We have some other classes too. In November, guess what? Drum roll, please. I will have a 3-day workshop in St. George. It's 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, which is a good time to go to southern Utah. St. George, we're going to do some painting like we've never done on this channel, which is a lot about color. St. George, there's a lot of rock there. There's a lot of like old-timey buildings, and how do you paint those things colorful? That's right, Yvette. Drum roll. That will be in November from the 13th to the 15th, so you can mark that on your calendar. It is cheap to go stay in St. George, so if you want to check out, if you've been wanting to go to southern Utah, now you have a good reason. Now you have a good reason to go to southern Utah, and it is cheap. I mean, not cheap. It's affordable. Elle, the director, she has made it super affordable for anyone to go. And that's very, very kind of her to make. Maybe this summer you can't go somewhere, but maybe in the fall you can, or maybe that's winter. So a lot of snowbirds go there. So there will be people. We won't be outside though. We'll be indoors. All right. I also, if you are in the LA area and you want to come down to San Diego and learn from me, guess what? I've got a deal for you. You can come learn from me over in Fallbrook. That's right. And you can pick up some fresh avocados, because Fallbrook is known for avocados. So if you live in San Diego City, southern San Diego, it's too far for you. But if you live in North County, so those will be a 4-week class, and thank goodness the art supplies will be supplied. It's like $199 for 4 weeks. You show up to class, you pay a $45 art fee for the supplies, and you are in. So if you've been thinking about moving to Fallbrook, well, there you go. There's your answer. If you've been praying to Almighty God saying, God, should I move to... I'm just being silly now. Anyway, check this out. So back to the painting. Thanks for letting me share about teaching opportunities since someone brought it up. I'm going to pull back this tape. And, oh, no, that's, someone is messaging me. on my email telling me they got a gig for me. That's great. I will answer your email later. Thank you. All right. Too funny. Too funny. Too funny. All these distractions, right? So when I get maybe about 15% done, I like to pull back the tape. Why? Because I'm going to probably frame this in a white frame. And I'm getting a good sense of, how this is looking. Let me just tilt a little there. All right, cool. So what are we looking at? We're seeing some nice shadows underneath here. We've got this cool Dr. Seuss building. This is obviously a truck. But what's another little detail that we could put on a truck? Oh, I know. There's a lens right here on here, right? So I can get out my little handy dandy gouache paint, and I can paint me a little elliptical right in here. I'm thinking that this is a circle, but from the side, it's an elliptical. It's not going to be all white. That's where people go wrong, friend. It's going to also have a reflection of the sky from the distance. So above land, right here, it's going to be... I'm going to make above land it being, what's that? Lavender. So up here is going to be lavender. And then down below is going to be green. I'm going to get some green. Nice green right here, reflectiveness. Now that's pretty wet. And then I'm going to put a cool highlight in there. Bum, bum, bum. And then maybe a nice little white highlight there. And a little chunk there. There's these little things here. And something there. And there. And there. This is the start of the show. It's the truck part, right? And so we've got to make this look like this old-timey fun truck. And what's your question about the wheel? Yvette, did you paint a vampire for Comic-Con paintings? I didn't. I'm not a vampire fan. There's other things I think that are cool, but I know I saw some vampire stuff. It was kind of all up in my face, but it's really not my thing, friend. You don't have... Here's the thing is, I know you want to maybe create stuff that will maybe sell and is popular, but there's also that part of you that you don't have to do it because it's not your thing. So I'm not saying you, I'm just saying me. And the thing about me is I don't sell out for things I don't necessarily come into full agreement. And so I know there's other people that could probably paint vampire stuff all day long. It's not me, friend. But yeah, I saw vampire poster stuff, and yeah, it's kind of a thing right now. So I painted things that I enjoy, and I was getting some good feedback. while dropping off my things. And yeah, a lot of people love the Gary. And there was one thing I wished I did do was a Simpson thing. I'm not a huge Simpson fan, but I did live in Springfield, uh, which is a huge part of the whole movement of The Simpsons. Springfield, Oregon. But anywho, weird fun fact about me there. I'm dolling this part down. It really doesn't need a lot of attention there. There's areas of the painting that you need to kind of quiet down. And you got to ask yourself, where are those? Where can I quiet this painting down? We are close, but no cigar yet. If you want to see how I started this painting, tomorrow on my Instagram at Gabriel Stockton Fine Art, you'll be able to see how this whole thing got started. And I was using this brush, and I was using the pencil that goes on this end to draw all this. And so I know, fancy, right? I kind of want to put a window, and this is where just a little bit of your painting needs to scare you. You need to get a little scary on your painting. And I know you've been seeing me use this towel to like dab, but I'm not. It's more going after texture and not like fixing a mess up. There we go. Now it's starting to feel like we got some windows. I do want to put a nice little dark here that will then have a nice little highlight, mixing up some rusty black color right here. Boom. And then I'll put a little chunk of detail on the front of that nose. Maybe a little antenna would be cool. It's an old truck, so the antenna should be, a little wobbly, right? Hey, so I'm looking at some dates for having our next Zoom. If you couldn't attend our Zoom that we did on lighthouses, the group wants to meet back up that did show up. Some of you put in the request, but I didn't see you. It's fine. I get it. We all have busy lives. Totally get it. So the group that was there, they've asked that I would do another one, or do them quarterly. So the next one we're looking at is September. So it's going to be on a Saturday. So start saving some dates. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. Hey, Chuck Davis is here and Eric Kane. Hi, everyone. And Gabriel got here a little late, but here nonetheless. Glad to have you, Eric. I was talking about you earlier. Eric is a very funny guy. He kept us all entertained, and he was a champion. He did all of his homework and then some. Some of you others that came also did their homework, and they got some awesome feedback. And so, way to go, Eric. Glad to have you, buddy. And we got Chuck Davis. Hi, Gabriel. I missed the last few Watercolor Wednesdays, but I am glad to be here for this one. I really liked the house on the truck. Oh, thank you so much. And Marie was there, and Marie rocked it. Marie was the one that sent one of the coolest demos that we did. Um, Marie didn't just paint the subject once, but she also did it twice. And she also got some good feedback. And between the group that showed up, also Debbie also rocked it. Oh my goodness! And I've been working with Debbie for the last year and a half, maybe 2 years. So everyone that showed up and participated on the Zoom on the lighthouses, if you're watching this on the repeat, that's what we're doing. Is quarterly we are doing a little Zoom where we all get together. And then if you need a little extra time with me, you can sign up for a one-on-one consultation. And then we work on stuff that helps you. So look, I'm just putting some of these little highlights here and there that are helping this little lovely painting. And you know, in the photo it doesn't have this, but in my mind's eye, I'm like, oh, this could wrap around. And now I just made a painting instead of a copy of the actual thing. Dun, dun, dun. So we, Chuck and Eric and whoever else just hopped on here. Today we're looking at how do you know a painting is finished. And so we are adding some really nice big tidbits. We pushed through the ugly phase. You should have saw this thing. It was hideous. It was like, maybe I should just throw this thing in the closet and then maybe come back a couple years later and go, oh, what happened that day? Kidding. But I do have some of those. I would be lying, and other people on their YouTube channels would be lying if they told you they didn't have a bunch of worthless, bad paintings. And so, anyhow, this fun little truck just reminds me of Dr. Seuss, and I enjoy it. We're really starting to beef this up. It's a nice little beefcake. And that's what we want. We want to build up our painting. This little piece is on the other side. So I'm going to give it a little highlight right in there. Not this one, because this one's over here. And then if I'm going to do that, might as well give this a little highlight there to separate from that background. Here. Oop. Oh, that's a nice little chunky. Ba-ba-ba. And this and that now is ready. Boom. Look at that. And here. Not, the highlight can't be way up there. It has to be down here. Down here. Some window dry brushing. Some window dry brushing here. See that? The antenna needs a little love. I think I give it a little bit of turquoise, a little bit of brown orangey thing into it. Like it's patinaed. And give it a little hip, a little skip, and a jet, and a thing. Did you get that? I didn't even get it. Here's the thing though. Let me grab an extra piece of paper and I want to show you what I'm noticing some beginners aren't getting in their watercolor. If I can find a piece of paper. I have so much watercolor paper, but you know, we just moved and everything is just kind of... Alright, 2 seconds. I gotta walk over here. This works. Alright. If you're just new to this channel, I also like Cheap Joe's quite a bit. I'm a brand ambassador with them. They make a Kilimanjaro paper, and this is a little watercolor sketchbook. This thing is quite lovely. Some of you were here when we did the little nocturne. Okay, so here's the thing. You should have 2 brushes, okay? The 2 brushes are a mop brush and a synthetic brush that holds lots of paint. In this case, I am using what's called a round mop, okay? All 10 of you with, hey, this is the first time we have 10 people on here with 11 thumbs up. What? Alright, so I'm gonna get in here and get some juicy color. I said juicy color, that was just ugly. Okay, I'm gonna get some green apatite. That's a nice color. So watch this. When I go like this, see how that just painted? This whole thing is solid. There's not a part missing in here. As opposed to, oh, my wife's gonna hate it, I just painted my pants. I'm gonna go here, and now see it's lighter. So it's not doing any dry brushing with this brush. So this is the brush that we want to be able to cover the whole entire space, and if we go lighter, it covers all the space. You can't do dry brushing with that brush. Now, yes, you probably could if you loaded it up with just straight pigment. But look at this brush. So this is a synthetic. This is called a Perla. I've used this brush so much now you can't even see the name or the size. But watch. I'm going to come down. What is going on there? You have less water, and then it is now doing dry brushing. Okay? So now I'm going to add a whole bunch of water, and let's see what makes. There. Okay. But what did it do? What's different about this one than that one? Put it in the chat. This one did this, and this one did that. What is the difference? Okay, I know my lighting is a little kind of off today. For some reason, it's not as bright in here for some reason. Put in the chat what happened here to there. I'll give you a hint. This one has more pigment, but it also has a lot of water. But why does this one look so much richer? This is what we do, folks. This is what we do as a bunch of weird watercolorists when we get together. All right, this one here is so saturated, okay? It's so saturated that I'm not getting the beautiful granules, okay? But look at this one. I'm getting those beautiful, I'm gonna tap the screen, see if it focuses. Focus, focus. So this one has the beautiful granulation, okay? Now, see how, and I'm seeing, this is what I'm seeing. When I look over at a student and they go, I have two brushes, Mr. Stockton. I've got this brush, and I went and bought the mop brush you told me. And they have like something like this, okay? This brush is different, yes, and might have different hairs, but this brush holds lots of water still. So they can only do this part over here, okay? And then they go, okay, well, I got another brush, and it's this one. Okay, again, yes, you got an Ultimo, which is a great way. If you don't want a real hairbrush that's from an animal, the Ultimo by Escoda is the way to go. There's the name. Okay. So, but this one holds lots of water too, so it can only do these two. And then, so I just want to ask you this question. When you do a painting, does it just look like this? Does it just look like this? That makes you wonder, why is my painting fading? Now, this doesn't mean anything about fading. We just haven't learned the correct terminology. And what it is this side over here, the pigment is so saturated, we have lots of water, very little pigment. Over here, we've got so much pigment and not enough water, it runs out. But there are times we want those little dry brushes, okay? But then there's times I need this amazing, gorgeous stuff with this lovely granules. Come on, focus, camera. All right. So the difference here is we're getting more pigment and getting to have more granulation. Over here, you're covering the space. Now, if you've been in one of my classes, I do a first layer of painting called your first wash, and it's perfectly fine for the beginning of your painting to look like this, okay? But to make it look like a painting that's almost finished, friends, is this over here, okay? And I don't know how it's happened, but we've got 10 people watching and 12 thumbs up. How cool is that? So back to our painting that I'm finishing up on. Now, when I get about 90% done, I reach into my pocket and I grab these things. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. This was all in my pocket. So we got a mechanical pencil. We got 2 microns. Okay. We've got a travel paintbrush. This is why I set off the alarms at the places. 2 other types of pens to sign my name, and a Sharpie. And yeah, finally get some stuff out of my pockets. Oh, and this was in my other pocket. This is the one I'm gonna sign my painting with. And if you're new here, and thanks for joining us, this is a Tombow, and it's the blue one. I like the blue one because it can take writing on this rough paper. And It is Sumi ink, and Sumi ink has already been proven that it lasts a long time. So, at this point, I'm going to sign my name, Gabriel Stockton, and something about a signature that makes it look completed. Okay? I think about what else could I do to this painting. And for some of you that know me and have been here, I like to do some splattering. And so what I'm gonna do, and thank you for everybody for throwing in an answer. I really appreciated this. I'm so glad that you are participating. I enjoy doing this more when you participate and ask questions. And not that you have to start asking me 50 million questions, but I'm going to cover up the star of our show. I'm going to get a brush to splatter with. All right. So here we go. And then I'm going to get another brush to use the handle here. And I'm thinking I want some like maybe brown stuff. For some reason I just mixed a bunch of yellowish brown, but I want brown. Do you know what 3 colors make brown? I'm curious. Put it in the chat. Let me know if you know what 3 colors make brown. I'm gonna tap on the wood, not the ferrule. It's a good way to dent your ferrule on your brush. Okay. Putting in some dirt down here. Okay. This is the size that you're gonna get. But if I add more water, I'm gonna get bigger ones. See that? Okay, let's pull this off for a second and take a look at it. Let's connect some of them. Let's play with some of them. I like that. Now, if there were some dark little rocks, maybe here. I don't know if you've ever been to Maryland. There's these serious rocks. I'll put one right by my name. Maybe a couple little ones here. Crazy like putting birds. Some of you like to put like 50 million birds in your painting. Primaries! Yay! The winner goes to Sue. Primaries. Bum, bum, bum. Very nice. So, Valerie says that looks like a black kitty cat. That is so cool. That's what I love. I love about, you know, my little kitty cat on the back porch there. Can use a longer tail, huh? I see it. I see it. I'm rolling. Valerie, I'm picking up what you're putting down. This looks like his little head right here. Let's give him a longer tail. Oh, so cute, Valerie. And another little ear. Done. Look at that kitty. Actually, it looks like his butt is going the other way too, just a little bit. So we'll just sitting that way too. Oh, way to go! That is my first kitty cat in a painting. What size is this? What size is what? This brush, this is an Escoda Prado. This is a synthetic brush. It's a number 4, and it's their rigger. Yeah, I've been using this more often now than that hack job of a Chinese brush. That thing. Well, once I put water to it. So there's this one I was using, and then I've been using this one more often. This is, and then another brush that holds a really good point are these lizard licks. Bum, bum, bum. See that? It looks like a little lizard with a tongue sticking out. And, well, you tell me. Escoda made this brush. See the ferrule? And this brush, it says it's made in Spain. And it's by Cheap Joe's. Look at that ferrule. Who do you think made this brush in Spain? Interesting. All right, and we have Deborah. I visited San Diego last month, and luckily I got to the Daniel Smith Palette and Artist Center and loved your paintings. Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us. We got a new person here. Say hello to Deborah. All right, welcome. We just got done putting this kitty cat that Valerie saw there, and she said perfect. Thank you so much. Good times. There's never a dull moment in life, right? I'm totally down. Like, you know, it doesn't always have to be done my way, and I'm always glad to have more people to come join us. Look at this light. Could use a little something in it. Just a little something. You guys are making me nervous. All right. Well, this has been fun, right? Got this cool. We got 6 minutes left. What can we do? Oh, yes. We got sidetracked here with the kitty. You know, there's these little lights right here off to the side. And maybe a little turning signal. Could be a little more yellow. A little more yellowy. But I don't need it like all up in my face. Let's put some highlights on these rocks. I know, who was it? Paula probably wants to see it in some Art Ross. Escoda made the brush. Yeah, you got it. You're such a smart lady. We're so glad to have you around, Yvette. I would say I want more people like you around, Yvette, but, well, just like our thumbprint, there's only one of us. All right, check it out. Highlights on the rock. I'm trying to not have a squirrel moment and remember what I'm gonna do. I'll put just a couple highlights on the rocks. Instead of putting birds in this painting, we're gonna put rocks. Highlighted rocks. Who would ever thought? And I almost put my brush in my tea. Who's done that? I didn't say coffee. Everybody does the coffee one, but in the tea. it's that time of the year, you know. It's hot. We need some nice sun tea. I'm gonna put some of these little dots, some little hardware dots, and a little detail there. There is a little latch up there on that door. Yes, this was a door. This doesn't need too much more. Maybe a couple little highlights on the shingles that are left. Most of them have fallen off. Oh my goodness, this guy needs to repair this hillbilly outfit. Gotta make it look smoosh, like he's ran it into the side of something. All right. There's always these little things, breathers for the side of the truck, and there's usually a line. Oh, you know what's on the back of this, though? Oh my goodness, I can't believe I almost forgot it. It's the rest of the lens. Hey, who's keeping me on track here? There's the back of the lens. Is like this. I know these things because my mother took me to so many car shows. My mother really enjoyed taking us to classic car and antique car shows. She liked that nostalgia stuff. I did too. I'm not complaining. But I'd rather drive one instead of look at them. There's another wheel over here. I almost forgot the wheel. Someone is not making sure I get all the bits and pieces. My goodness. I'm kidding. These little highlights back in here, though, need to stay. This can't be all solid, okay? I like doing these little things like this without the photo reference, because it's a lot funner. You get to use this thing called imagination. Ho, ho, ho. Pretty cool, right? Well, let's look at this now. Now that this is dried, okay, this has gotten lighter. Very lighter. I would say about 15% lighter. Maybe 10%, okay? My wife says I tend to stretch the truth a little bit. Alright, I'm being silly. But you get my point. When this dries, it gets lighter. Now, here's the other thing. I can now take thicker pigment. With which brush? The synthetic. I can go over the top. Look at this. Now we have more pigment, more water with this brush. But what do we also have? We have a value change, friends. Okay? There's a value change. Look, now it's started. See this little area started to run out with some pigment. Okay? Now, some people think they just got to go fast. Okay? But you're taking some chances. What I will do is get this thing filled up with some paint. I will take my paper here. Oh, we're over. It's 1 minute over. Shall I keep going? I'll take out a little bit of pigment. This is the belly of the brush. Now let's dry brush. See that? Now we're dry brushing. Okay? This is the time you want to dry brush, is in the second half of your painting. Okay? I teach this in my classes. I teach this one-on-one, and I teach these during Zooms. Artie Ross, keep going, keep going. For sure, for sure. I got you. Here's the other thing, just to keep in mind, is when I say values, is I'm talking not the color. I'm talking the grayscale. This green right here now looks almost like a number 8 or 9. This one looks like maybe a 2. This one looks like maybe a 3 or a 4 in value scale. Okay. Let's look at something realistic here. Look at my sky here. There's actually blue right here. So this would be like a number 2. This is like a 3 or a 4. Now look at all these. There's a whole bunch of values in there. There's like a 5, there's like a 6, there's like a 7, there's like an 8. Is there a 10 though? Like a black in this bit? Yeah, look at that one right there. Let's look over here in the shadow piece. Okay? The lightest color in here as value is this color right here. And that, my friends, is probably not a 1 or 2 compared to this sky right over here, but like a 4 or a 5. Okay? You might think I'm crazy saying this, but it's true. If we were to put a piece of white material around that, you would see. Okay? Look at our foreground. See how the foreground transitions? Not in color. Okay, don't look at the color. And I'm gonna move it over here. Don't look at the color from here to here. Look at the value. Look at the pigment load of the paint. Look at this gorgeous granulation that's happening here, and how there's no granulation over there. This is how you create a distance in a painting. This value is different than that value. Okay? All right, obvious, right? We got white here. You saw the gouache. And then we have like a 4 and like a 7. Okay? We've got some patterns of different light in here. Okay? Well, this was fun. I'm very grateful for all of you, all 13 thumbs up, thank you. And for all of you that stayed on after 7 p.m. and for you that are watching the replay, I would like you to do one thing for me, is if you want to be on, okay, there's 2 things. The first one is go over to my website at gabrielstocktonfineart.com. Sign up for the newsletter. You don't get anything free, but you do get some cool emails every now and then. Like, not every day, not 3 times a day, but like 4 times a year, okay? I usually do like a cool letting you know when we're doing a workshop, and I also let you know about some cool techniques here and there. So sign up there. And the other thing is, I want you to put into the chat, what is a subject that you would like to see from start to finish from a subject from start to finish. There are two things we won't be doing, okay? Is barns and covered bridges and portraits. That's three things, okay? But all the rest, if you want to do airplanes, if you want to do beaches, boats, buildings, anything with a B, I'm down for it. Not a banana taped to the wall. Not that one. Thank you so much for joining me. You guys are amazing. Wow, 14 thumbs up. You're so kind. Have a wonderful day. And if you're not subscribed, oh, we already got Artie Ross saying buildings. What kind of buildings? Do you want to know how to draw the buildings or paint the buildings? So put those things in the comments. And beaches, we got beaches, abandoned old homes. Ooh, love. You just found one of my that just fills my love tank. Abandoned old homes and cityscapes. Oh, right on. Those are so good. You can keep putting those in the chat. I will see them. And have a wonderful week. Thank you for joining me during this fun Dr. Seuss rusted out hillbilly home. Have a wonderful day. Take care. I will see you next week. And keep those paintbrushes wet. Bye.